Hi BookTube, I'm here with a tag video, the Reading Habits book tag, and it was created by Book Jazz, and it's saying that I couldn't find their channel. I guess it's like they took it down, but I was tagged by Shawn, the Book Maniac. I was planning to do a tag video yesterday, but maybe you can tell from my voice. I got the darn cold that my boyfriend had, and so after I was sick a week and a half ago, then of course right when I got better, I got his cold, so I'm just continuing on with the snuffles. But I'm feeling a lot better today, and so even though my voice may be a bit rough, I felt good enough to film a video. So let's get right into the questions. This is all about reading habits. So number 1, do you have a certain place at home for reading? Yes, I do. Right here. I like it because there's a big window right here, so it's perfect for light, and I have like my chair angled, so the light shines right on the books I'm reading. And I have a lamp and a table for extra lighting or snacks or drinks or what have you. And so yeah, it's right here is where I tend to like reading. Other than that, I'll listen to audiobooks when I'm walking my dog, or I'll read at my desk at work on breaks and stuff. So, but yeah, most of my reading is done right here on a comfy recliner. So number 2, bookmark or random piece of paper. Well, I predominantly read on a Kindle and a Kindle Paperwhite, and so it saves my spot. I don't often they have like this a bookmark you can like click on the corner, but I don't need that because it saves my spot. So even if I click out and go on like the main page and click on a different book, wherever I left off, it's on that page. So it's a really nice feature. But when I do read physical books, which is pretty rare nowadays, the last like 2 years I haven't really read many physical books because there's so many on ebook. But I do tend to use bookmarks. But like I said, it's been around 2 years or so, and so and I've moved since then, and so all the bookmarks I have are, I don't know where they are. So it might be a random piece of paper if I do pick up a physical book nowadays. So anyway, number 3, can you just stop reading, or do you have to stop after a chapter or a certain amount of pages? I prefer stopping at the end of a chapter. I'm also fine with it's like, you know, like a break in between like scenes. Like they'll have like a little like indentation and it's like starting a new scene. I like that as well. But I can, like if I'm at work, or I can stop wherever, it doesn't matter. Or if I happen to like fall asleep in the middle of reading, sometimes I'm in the middle of a paragraph. So let's see. Number 4, do you eat or drink while reading? I always have water nearby. Sometimes I'll have tea. As far as eating, when I'm at work on my lunch, I'll eat and read on my lunch break. But other than that, I don't tend to read and eat at the same time, just because I don't like my hands getting grubby. So yeah, no. But drink, yes. Number 5, multitasking. Music or TV while reading? No. No. I like completely focusing on what I'm doing. If it's by choice. I mean, not by choice, but if I'm in a situation where I'm reading and I know there's noise in the background, it's hard for me to focus, but I would rather be reading than staring at a wall or something. So yeah, I will read through whatever noise is going on, but my preference is neither. Silence is best. Number 6, one book at a time or several at once. I used to read only one at a time, but when I discovered BookTube, maybe like, oh, I don't know, like 4 or 5 years ago, I think 4 years ago, everyone was talking about all these like great books they were reading, and so since that point on, BookTube has changed my reading because I wanted to get to all the books. You know, there's so little time, and so I started reading multiple books, and so now I'm continually reading like 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 maybe at a time, depending on what's going on. Like this month, there's a couple read-alongs going on with like Pride and Prejudice and the Wheel of Time series, so I have those 2 on the go all throughout the month. And then I have, I tend to have like an audiobook, and I'll have either like, sometimes I'll have like 2 fiction books going, or a fiction and nonfiction. So yeah, it tends to be at least 3 books on the go. Number 7, reading at home or everywhere. I can read everywhere. But most of the time is at home. I don't tend to like go to coffee shops and read or anything like that because I get distracted, like with the people, the customers, the machines, the music. I find if I go there, I waste so much time when I want to be reading, just being distracted. So I do prefer my quiet little homey spot at home. Number 8, reading out loud or silently in your head. I don't read out loud. Like my boyfriend's deaf, so even if I wanted to show him like a passage or read him a passage in a book, I just give him the book and have him read whatever I've highlighted or whatnot, because he can't hear me say what I'm saying. And so yeah, I just I read silently in my head. I've tried because I know Steve Downey, who's gone on this a bit about you can read faster if you turn off that voice in your head, and I never really thought of doing that. So I tried doing it, but for me, it feels like I'm like rushing through a book. I'm not like really like sinking in and enjoying it. But I would like to read just a little bit faster, just so I can get through more books. I mean, I do get through a lot of books, but if I can get through those books faster, that'd be great. But we'll see. Let's see. Number 9. Do you read ahead or even skip pages? I've never been one. I've heard like horror stories, if you will, of people who will read like the last chapter or the last page of a book before they start the beginning of the book. I've never done that. I don't see the point, because if you start the beginning, at the end, you don't understand like the lead up to it, the resolution of how it got there. And so, and it started like skipping ahead in pages to like find out what's happening. No, I would just read through what's going on. Sometimes I will read a bit faster if it's like, good action scene, or I want to know what happens. I will pick up my pace, but I don't skip. Number 10, breaking the spine or keeping it like new. Well, like I mentioned before, I read ebooks, and so this doesn't really apply to me. But if I am reading physical books, I don't really care, to be honest. I like a good used book, and if I'm buying it, I prefer the spine not being broken. But I think there's a difference between like a book that has like the binding is a little bit like rigid, and I don't mind that. But if it's like actually like snapped in two, like it's like there's one point, like maybe like a halfway point where the book is actually like folding over on itself. I don't, the difference between that. I don't like that. But I'm perfectly fine cracking the spine. I don't mind at all. Okay, so number 11. Do you write in your books? Physical books? No, I don't. Ebooks, sometimes. I like the feature of you can turn it into like a keyboard, is you can type in whatever notes you have, and then you can actually email it to yourself, which is really cool, or it can just save it as a document. Or you can even like email it to a person. Like sometimes I'll send like little quotes to my boyfriend, like these are all the quotes I want you to read on the book. But yeah, that's what I tend to do. And I didn't prepare. There was no question about who you tag, and I didn't prepare ahead of like thinking who I wanted to tag. But if this sounds interesting to you, feel free to go ahead and do the tag. So yeah, thanks. See you soon, BookTube.